Like we have Hilton Diamond, Caesars Diamond, Hyatt, Wyndham, Best Western, Six, Hertz, Presidential Circle, National Executive Elite. All these car rentals and hotels can be up, and the more that you stay with them, you get into their highest status, which they give you comps, they give you upgrades, they give you discounts, the whole nine. They just treat you a lot better. So the list goes on. There's a bunch that really wind into it. There's so much power behind credit, and if you're not implementing credit, I highly suggest and recommend that we start building up your credit right now, because it goes in.
Hello, you're listening to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, presented by Brandon Elliott. This show will be going over all aspects of real estate investing and is intended to educate, motivate, and prepare you to take action on your first or next real estate investment. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Thank you for listening and enjoy.
What's up, everyone? What is cracking? Today is another amazing Monday. I pray you guys are all starting off your day on the right foot and really just getting ready to crush this whole week. Today is such an amazing day. It is Money Mondays. So whether you guys are listening to this currently right now or on a Monday or another day or what have you on the replay, I hope you guys, this does find you well and you guys are crushing it and making today the best day of your life. Do me a favor as well. Make sure you jump on to iTunes or anywhere that you listen to this podcast, Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing. Make sure that you are hitting that subscribe button as well as leaving a review. This just helps promote it out to more people, as well as lets me know if I'm doing a good job or not and what you guys would like to see improved or possible guests to have on in the near future that you guys can learn from. So with that being said, like I said, today is Money Mondays. I like to start off Mondays talking about money because, and this isn't like an ego thing or the world doesn't revolve around money, but at the end of the day, what I've noticed is I've been on both sides, extremely poor, grew up very humble and living off of, Social Security. My mom still currently does, living off of Social Security, less than like $12,000 to $15,000 a year is what we lived on. That's for all expenses. That's our household income. So living on that side and then going on the side that I'm at currently, I'm not the richest person in the world by any means. I am financially stable. Let's say that at the end of the day, I have huge goals to get to, but I am financially stable. My bills are covered. I can live the life that I desire currently, which is a huge blessing. But I've been on both sides, and it feels a lot better to be able to write a check to a foundation or give away money to somebody that needs it, or cover a hospital bill when it comes up to a family member or friend. Being on both sides and being stressed out when those bills come up when you're extremely poor and not having the mindset or the willpower to be able to cover those, then in comparison to having the finances, I always truly think it's a better side to be on. So with that being said, let's dive into some money tips. And at the end of the day, you guys know that I'm super passionate about real estate. I love real estate investing. It's changed my life. It's something that I'm very passionate about. And I believe everybody should have a little bit of real estate, whether they're passionate about it or not. It's always the end goal for a lot of people. It's a smart idea, and something that you're going to want to do is, take notes during these podcasts and any educational courses or activities that you're soaking in, books, etc., to be able to implement this stuff sooner than later so you can live the lifestyle that you enjoy. And like I said, I'm super passionate about real estate. But without this topic that we're going to be covering today, I would have not been able to, first off, just afford real estate. I wouldn't have been able to complete any of my remodels. I wouldn't have been able to snowball everything and be able to compound my success and get more and more properties. We've done a lot within this certain topic, and we're going to be covering the 101 of it today right here on Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast. I am your host, Brandon Elliott. Today we're going to be covering Credit 101. And the reason we're going to be covering credit is because it's unbelievable. It's like freaking unbelievable. I can't say enough about how much we have leverage credit. Like we get free flights, we can get free car rentals, free hotels, status matching, basically getting and paying for the cheapest. What status matching is, if you're unsure of this, we have courses on this stuff coming up that we have currently available, and just getting the marketing pieces ready to be able to put this out and help out more people, very affordable to anybody. At the end of the day, it will save you thousands of dollars and you get treated like a king. So status is with car rentals or hotels and flights. The more you book and give them money and stay with them, utilize their services, you start off on a bottom tier as a member, and then you work your way up. And the more that you stay with them, you get into their highest status, which they give you comps, they give you upgrades, they give you discounts, the whole nine. They just treat you a lot better. So it's such an amazing tool to be able to have status matching all for free. You don't need to stay in any of these places more like at all, but you can, when you decide to, utilize the status matching and get the highest status with them, which is awesome. Like we have Hilton Diamond, Caesars Diamond, Hyatt, the list goes on. There's a bunch that really wind into it. Wyndham, Best Western, Six, Hertz, Presidential Circle, National, Executive Elite. All these car rentals and hotels can be super amazing. And status is basically you pay for the cheapest. That's what I do. I always pay for the cheapest, and then I get the highest and best that they have, Suite or Jag or Mercedes. But I paid for, the bottom of the barrel, and I get the nicest for the same price. And then there's ways to be able to get comps and free collections with that as well. We've MS'd tens of thousands of dollars in profit at this point, just doing it very casually, very basic, which is manufacturing spending with credit cards. There's so many different ways with that. Removal of hard inquiries. We can remove student loans, derogatory notes, remarks. The list goes on and on. Getting huge credit lines, mass apply for 10 plus cards in one day, purchasing properties with credit cards has been amazing, and all at 0% interest. We can get 0% interest for 12 to 18 months, get money wired straight into our bank account within 2 to 3 business days, usually within 1 or 2. And we can lend out that money. We can have a little over $100,000 at this point that from several of these credit cards. And it's super powerful. So at the end of the day, I think there's so much power behind credit. And if you're not implementing credit, I highly suggest and recommend that we start building up your credit right now, because it goes into a phase. Before you can actually leverage your credit, there's phases to this. You need to understand how you're getting judged by the creditors out there and fix your credit. So fix credit, build credit, and then leverage credit. In that order, if you take advantage of this stuff, it is truly amazing. So we're going to be covering the fixed credit part today. And just so you can get a better understanding, as well as being able to figure out, how your credit is working and how you're being judged as a person utilizing your credit. So with that being said, there are 2 steps that you're going to want to do right now. And make sure you are taking notes on this stuff, because we are going to be diving into some really amazing stuff in the next few minutes. So step 1 is you're going to want to make accounts with Credit Karma, number 1, and then Experian. So Credit Karma and Experian, make sure you have a membership, an account with them. They're both free. Experian it makes it a little bit more difficult. They're always trying to get $1 out of you or a couple bucks for a membership and pros accounts to get upgraded. But if you look finally and just scroll to the bottom and continue with my membership, which is $0, it's always going to be free to log in. So make sure you do that. You don't need to pay for either of these. These are both free. And these are the 3 credit bureaus. So you got TransUnion, Equifax, which is under Credit Karma. And then you got Experian, which is by itself the 3rd one. And these are the 3 credit bureaus that are getting, all the creditors are reporting your information to them on a regular basis. that alone is crucial to have those. Make sure it's on your phone, downloaded, and easy access to check your credit on a regular basis. Now, the first thing you're going to want to acknowledge when you are on these sites is that there is a score on there, and people think it's their Fico score, their credit score, and it's incorrect. These scores that you see are actually the Vantage score. So the Vantage score in comparison to the Fico score, what's the difference between? Vantage score it's their own definition of making up their own numbers and their own platform to be able to give it to you for free. Fico you need to pay for, or you can get it one time free at the end of the year, freeannualcreditreport.com. Otherwise, you can reach out to the credit bureaus and actually ask for a copy of each individual one free once a year as well. There's plenty of ways around that as well. You can get it multiple times instead of just once a year. But besides that, this Fico score versus the Vantage score, at the end of the day, the Vantage score is free. And I just like to round it off as it's fake. They have a different range of credit up to like 900 in some cases. And it's just a platform that they are trying to be able to get more money out of you. And they judge each box in your credit, what makes up your credit, differently. So at the end of the day, it's not the same as your Fico. You want your Fico, but these sites are good for actually looking at what makes up your credit. And there's 6 boxes that we're going to go over. So 6 boxes that you're really going to want to pay attention to on a regular basis. As far as the score that you see at the top, that's just your Vantage score. Don't worry about that, whether it's high, low. Don't brag about that stuff. It's just the Vantage score. And I've seen it as far as 150 points off. And that's plus or minus what it should actually truly be. So don't worry about that score that you see. Look down to see what actually the 6 boxes are. And on Credit Karma, it's very easy. In the top left-hand corner under overview, then you're going to click on that, and it's going to see the second one down, it's score details. If you click that, then once it uploads, you scroll down just a little bit halfway through, there's going to be 6 boxes that you're going to want to pay attention to. Now, most creditors out there actually look at your Experian report. So they're going to be judging a lot off that. So it's good to look at that report as well. But I personally believe that Credit Karma is just super easy and convenient, less hassle to be able to look at. But I want you to look at all 3. When I say 3, it's really all 2 because, like I said, TransUnion and Equifax are under Credit Karma. So when you're looking at both of those, like I said, if we're just looking at Credit Karma, you go to the overview, score details, roll down to the 6 boxes. And there's going to be 6 boxes that you're going to want to pay attention to because these are the crucial boxes that really make up your credit score. And once you're looking at those boxes and you're well educated on those boxes, you're going to be able to actually tell what the range of what your true Fico score is. So let's just dive into it. So the first in box 1 would be payment history. And out of these 6 boxes, there is a high impact, medium impact, and low impact. And what that means is payment history is a high impact. That means that your payment history is whatever it is, good or bad, is going to highly impact your credit score. And then there's credit age. That's a medium impact. Total accounts, low impact. Hard inquiries is a high impact. Derogatory remarks is a high impact. I'm sorry, the hard inquiries is actually a low impact. And then derogatory remarks is a high impact. And then credit card use is a high impact. So with these, we're just going to dive into each individual one and break those down because even on Credit Karma, if you go there right now and start checking it out, those 6 boxes, click on each box, it shows more details or just a breakdown to get a better idea of how you're being judged, which is super crucial. So play around with these websites and see, how you can actually understand it better, grasp it. I'm more of a visual learner instead of just listening or taking notes. I'm more of hands-on. So play around with it, and this might help you as well. The payment history. So they have their own formula. Like I said, it's a high impact to your credit score. They have their own formula that if you have a longer history with each in particular account, as far as say you have a credit card that you've had it for 10 years, that's every single month it's getting reported. So that's a very long history. Maybe that's several hundred that is going to report there. So basically the longer history, the less impact if you miss 1 or 2 or 3 payments. But the shorter, if you miss any payments, 1 payment in a short period of time of just having this account open, it's going to impact it tremendously in a negative way. At the end of the day, always shoot for paying your credit or anything that you owe on time. Don't ever fall into the trap of missing one and then missing another. It's a bad cycle that is going to mess up. Only spend what you can afford to be able to pay off. But there are ways, if you do run into payment history issues with not paying on time, if you get a late payment, you can check out the website. This is a key tip right here. Check out the website, uscreditcardguide.com. That is not the right site, actually. That is the right site for checking out your new credit cards that you're going to apply for. So don't check out that site. But so if you do have a late payment and your payment history is off, and you're getting dinged from it, you're definitely going to want to remove that. An easy way to be able to remove that is fighting it on CFPB.gov. So that's a crucial tip right there. CFPB.gov. It's a government website that helps interact with the creditor that put that late payment on there. It helps them to be able to make them reply back within a short period of time, typically within 15 days, or else it's automatically going to get removed. So there's a lot of power behind working in there, and it's an easier way if you keep fighting through there to get what you actually want out of it. At the end of the day, always shoot for 100%. And then moving on, so credit age, that's a medium impact. So under 2 years, it's going to be a strong red, which, at the end of the day, you're going to want all of your 6 boxes to be green. And there's levels to it. There's green, there's yellow, and then there's red. So under 2 years is a strong red. That's the worst situation. And under 5 years is red. 5 to 6 years is yellow. 7 to 8 years is green. And then 9+ years of credit age, like credit history, is the best. So you want to shoot for as long as possible. A lot of people out there think that there's nothing that they can do to actually be able to increase their credit age. And for the most part, there's not too much. Like, you need to stick with, you can't fast forward your age process of how long you've had certain credit cards or credit accounts in general. But what you can do is become an authorized user. And there's plenty of different, they're called trade lines, that you can purchase online or sell your trade lines and lease them out online as well. So I sell mine online and in a private group of mine that I've built as well to get discounted rates and get a little bit more for your buck as well, to make it a win-win situation for both sides. But you can check out websites like boostmyscore.com. And that's one of the sites that I sell mine. And it's just an easy platform to be able to get that extra trade line on there. And basically somebody that has a 20-year-old credit card with $10,000 as a credit line on that card, nothing derogatory, nothing late, good history. Basically, once they make you an authorized user onto the account and you give them your social to the credit card company, then they're going to report that every month, that good standing every month to your credit card or to your credit bureaus, which is going to help you out tremendously. You're just piggybacking off of their good stance. So it's profitable and it's worth paying for something like that to be able to get that huge credit age, because that's really your only other way to be able to get a higher age, especially if you're brand new, 18 years old. I add my nephews and nieces to mine as an authorized user so I can get them on a stronger foot right off the bat in the near future by the time they turn 18. And then total accounts. So this is the low end, but basically you want to shoot for 21 plus, but if right when you get to 11 accounts to 20, you're still in the green, which is good. And 6 to 10, you're in that yellow phase, yellow reddish phase. I believe it's actually red. And then 0 to 5, it's like a strong red. And those are going to impact your score if you don't actually have enough accounts. You want to shoot for 21 plus. So back in the day when you heard that crazy myth of, only have 1 or 2 credit cards, don't have any more than that, then that will actually hold you back. Somebody that plays by that rule of thumb will always hold you back, and you're going to be failing and not getting the best of the best with your total credit. So the total accounts, you do want to have a mixed use of your credit. You don't want to have just only credit cards. You want to have like a mortgage, student loan, car, personal, and credit cards as well, retail cards. So having a mixed use of it shows that you know how to utilize credit, you are using it properly, you're in good standings with everything. So when you have 21 plus accounts like that, then that's great. I personally don't have any student loans. I'm not going to get any at this point. I'm not going to school and I don't need any student loans. So I won't have that, but mine is still 21 plus accounts, and it is mixed use besides that, which is beneficial. Any accounts that ever close, like that you finish paying, like I have a car note that I paid and it's free and clear and it closed out. Never remove those accounts. It's not going to impact your score anymore to a certain degree, but when you remove it, the creditors can't see it and they're not going, it's not going to be beneficial. So keep it on there if it's in good standings and it's paid off or what have you. Keep those accounts on there because believe it or not, it will actually help just a little bit to increase and help when creditors are judging you. You don't want to remove anything that is in good standings, even if it's closed. So the next one is hard inquiries. That one it's a low impact. Most people get terrified of this one in particular, which is funny. They think it's more of a high impact. Like, I don't want to stress out. I don't want to pull a hard inquiry on my account because it'll mess up my score. Honestly, most of the time, it only affects your score by 3 to 5 points. And it's really only going to affect your score hard for the first 3 months. After that, 3 to 6 months, it typically falls off. It will stay on your account for up to 2 years, 24 months, but it's not going to be affecting your score whatsoever after 3 months. And most creditors are going to look outside of that afterwards. But there's awesome ways that you can actually remove the hard inquiries as well. And I just personally removed 25 hard inquiries from mine that they were supposed to be on my credit report, but I removed them because I didn't want them to be on there stuck messing up my score, because 20 something, it actually did affect my score about 20 points. And it was starting to deny me from more credit cards that I wanted to get that are really good. So basically, those hard inquiries, there's like 0 hard inquiries is obviously the best. 1 to 2, you're still in the green. And then 5 to 8 range, you're going into a red. And then anything over 9 is like strong red. So 3 to 4, you're still in the yellow, but ideally, the less the better. And I did keep a couple hard inquiries on my report, but besides that, I removed 25 different hard inquiries that now don't have any effect, and creditors can't see that on my credit report, which is awesome. And that's a service that we provide as well. If you guys have any issues with that or trying to get new loans, mortgages, I did it so I can get another cash out refinance mortgage, as well as apply for new credit cards. I want to go on a spree. There's ways that you can get 10 plus credit cards in just one day, which is very, very powerful. And that's what I plan to do in the near future. And at this point, we have like almost 30 credit cards that we're playing around with. And there's so much power behind that. People in my mastermind groups, they have 300 plus credit cards, which is crazy. but it's doable. It's a lot of management to go through all them and make sure that you're not getting any fees or anything. But if you set them up correctly, it's very, very powerful. There's ways to waive the annual fees and everything. So there's a lot of power behind this stuff with credit card game. And then derogatory marks. So 4+ derogatory marks is like the worst of the worst. 2 to 3, you're in the red. 1 is yellow, just even 1. Obviously you want to shoot for the best, which is all green, which is 0. Derogatory remarks is like something that's in collections, something that, you didn't pay for a long time and it got sold off to collections. Basically, to be able to get these removed, you can do that as well, like bankruptcies and a bunch of other things. You just need to wait until it's charged off and the government forgives it from the creditor, and so they get a tax advantage from the government, and then basically you'll be able to get it fully removed. So if you guys have any questions about that as well, reach out to me. It's a service that we offer. It's very valuable. So we're not teaching these things at the moment, but in the near future, we do have a lot of courses and things coming out regarding the credit realm that are definitely going to be extremely lucrative, that you can make tens of thousands of dollars per month if you truly take action on it, and doing it 100% part-time, which is it's very, very powerful. So credit card use is a high one. There's a high impact. And honestly, this is the one that I see the most people getting screwed over on their credit report. Most people that are good people that always pay on time, nothing derogatory, have a few credit cards here and there, trying to do the whole what their parents taught them or what the school system taught them about credit cards, only have 1 or 2 credit cards. They might not be succeeding with their overall total accounts, because they only have a few accounts. And their credit age is good. They only get 1 or 2 credit cards, but have it for a very long time. And the credit card age also does an average. So if you get a brand new card, but you have a 5-year-old card, they're going to take the average of that. And that's going to be your average age. FYI, I didn't cover that in the past. But as far as credit card usage goes, this is your utilization rate. And there are different brackets of it, just like all the others, that you're going to get judged. And basically 0 to 9% of your utilization rate is the absolute best. And FYI, the top 1%ers out there are stated to have only 3% of their utilization rate that are reporting. But basically under 9% and under is going to be your absolute best, thumbs up, green for utilization rate. 10 to 29% is the next bracket, and that's still green. That's still good, but you're going to do slightly less on the scoreboard as far as credit goes. And then once you go over that 29%, once you go from 30 to right below 50% at 49%, that's when you're in that middle bracket. It's going to hit your credit score slightly, and it's going to be in the yellow. But right when you go over 50%, over the 49, once you hit 50% and over, it hits a strong impact on your credit score, and it will drop your credit score. I've seen over 100 points like that, and then continuously fall slowly after by just having over that, that 50% mark. Once you get to past 75 and up for utilization rate, that's the absolute worst. It's going to hit another smack to the face with your credit, and it's going to worsen your overall score. And when we say utilization rate, it's going to cover your total credit line. Meaning, if your total credit line is $1,000 on your credit card and you're using 50% of it, that's what your statement date shows, and that's what's getting reported, then it's going to hurt your score tremendously every single month. And the bottom line behind this is that what's getting reported to the 3 credit bureaus is when your statement date comes out. So if you look on your credit card statement, it's going to show 2 different things. It's going to show your statement closing date, which is the one that is very important that you want to keep an eye on. And then there's going to show your your payment due date, which is typically 2 to 3 weeks later after your statement closing date. The statement closing date is the most crucial one because when your statement date closes every single month, that number, whatever your balance is the actual one that's getting reported to the credit bureaus. An easy way to make sure that your credit bureaus are always showing as low as possible is to see what that closing statement date is, and it fluctuates every single month, typically the same date every month, but some months are different than others, and it will fluctuate by 2 to 3 business days. So make sure that you always pay off or pay as much as you can before that statement date actually closes, because whatever your balance is actually the number that's going to get reported to the credit bureaus. I know one person in green standings all the way around with all six boxes, but his credit utilization rate was at an all-time worst, like 95% utilization rate. And he paid off in full every single month, but he waited until the statement date came out to actually finally pay. And his credit line on his credit card was only $500. It's very easy to pay $500 to have bills up to $500. He was having bills like $470 something and was messing up his credit. So ways around this is to be able to get first off, just a little side note, there's tips and tricks out there that you can actually have a 95% utilization rate and still report to the credit bureaus 0%. The ultimate green, like everything good. So there's tips and tricks out there that we teach privately, one-on-one or in small group settings to be able to help you take your business to the next level and scale it or really understand how you're getting judged. But this is just the side note to be able to understand this stuff so you can fix, leverage, and build, or so you can fix, build, and leverage in that order and really be able to crush it. So a way that you guys can get your utilization rate low, obviously, is always pay it before the statement date comes out. But also you can ask for credit line increases. There's certain algorithms and special algorithms that we teach that can help get your algorithms boosted up and be able to get a huge credit line increase. I'm talking, $50,000 to $100,000 on one credit card like that. So those special tips and tricks we teach privately to paid clients. But as far as doing it on your own, and I'll give you a couple little secrets right here, right now, that basically, if you're not utilizing your card that much each month, then they're not going to give you a credit line increase. If you utilize it very heavily for 2 to 3 months in a row by almost maxing it out, never actually max it out, but get very close and then pay it off. Do that 3 to 4 times or as many times as you'd like within 1 to 3 months. And they'll either naturally give you a credit line increase or that you can personally reach out to them, call them, ask them for a credit line increase. Always shoot for the moon, because they're never going to give you actually what you want. They're always going to settle somewhere in the middle. So shoot very, very high if they ask, what would you like your credit line increase to be? And then shoot for somewhere in the middle is what they're going to give you. Now, if you can't actually get the credit line increase, or you've already maxed out all those resources, you haven't had your credit card long enough, or whatever the reason is that they're denying you for it, then I would recommend getting trade lines, buying trade lines, utilizing friends, family, other resources around you that would add you as an authorized user, what we talked about before with the credit age. This helps tremendously with the credit card use as well for your utilization rate, because like I said, you're going to be able to leverage and get the exact same credit profile that one individual has, like your parents or your best friend or your family, like sisters, brothers, whatever credit that they have. If they have a credit line of $10,000, 5-year history, and nothing derogatory, nothing late, then you're going to get exactly that to be reporting to your credit bureaus as if it's yours, which is huge. And that will change that $500 credit line that you currently have up to $10,500. and that will help your utilization rate tremendously. So doing those tips and tricks is super awesome, and it's going to help you out ridiculously well. Once you're all green for all 6 of the boxes, then you can really start building and leveraging your credit to the next level. uscreditcardguide.com is a great site to be able to check out all the different credit cards and how to apply and so forth. When you get to the point that all the boxes are green, until that day, reach out to me if you have any questions to be able to improve all of your 6 boxes to get them in the green, or if you need help with a trade line as an authorized user. We have a private group of individuals that are all trustworthy and good people that it's very safe. There's no issues with it. I can give you the breakdown and show you. You can Google it as well online to be able to get a better understanding of trade lines and authorized user positions, the pros and the cons behind it, and how much it can truly impact your score and help out your credit situation in such a short period of time. So with that being said, that is the overall breakdown of the 6 boxes when it comes down to how the creditors are judging your credit and how you can take the initial first reaction to understand it and really be able to start fixing it and then build it and then be able to leverage it to make insane profits. The money that we get when we leverage, like I said, we can leverage a little over $100,000 into our credit, into our bank accounts from our credit cards at 0% interest for 18 months. And we leverage that out from anywhere from high amounts from hard money lending, from anywhere from 12 to 20, 25, or 50% interest in 3 to 4 month terms. And I have 18 months to be able to pay it off. So I have backup options. I have it secured by properties, and I can flip that money several times at very high interest rates to be able to, make my money work hard for me. And it's all at 0% interest. Also, on any of your fix and flips, every single remodel we've ever done has always been on credit at 0% interest. So there's a lot of power behind it. You can utilize this in any business to be able to grow your business. Yeah, I'm so passionate about real estate, but I'm so passionate about credit as well. And I really do hope that this found you well and you're going to be able to take action, crush it, and be able to leverage your credit in the near future. If you guys have any questions, as always, reach out to me at BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Otherwise, on social media, it's Brandon Elliott Investments. On Instagram, and then on Facebook.com/Brandon Elliott REI. With that being said, we're about to get out of here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a review. Feel free to reach out to me. Love you guys all so much. Till next time, stay blessed.
This has been another episode of Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, brought to you by Brandon Elliott. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Also, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Thanks again for joining. Until next time, God bless.